name is Brittany Scott, and I'm a speech-language pathologist here at Parkinson Voice Project. I am so excited to be practicing with you today for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. Our topic will be baton twirling. Go ahead and say that with intent. Baton twirling. Now smile with intent. Great. I started twirling when I was 10 years old, and I twirled in middle school, high school, college, and then I coached baton twirling, and I loved every moment of it, and I am excited to talk about it with you today. But first, let's get started and take a good sip of water, making sure you are swallowing with intent, getting every drop to the right spot. We are going to start with our warm-up exercise. I want each word stretched and connected. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good effort. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good job. Stretching those vowels, keeping each word connected is your goal. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Last one. Give me your best effort. May, me, my, mo, moo. Wonderful. How would you rate your intent on that last warm-up? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best intent ever, and 1 being not super great. What would you rate it? Say it with intent. Okay, now say your rating again with even more intent. Great. We are done with the warm-up, so let's go ahead and take a sip of water, swallowing with intent. Okay, our next exercise is the ah exercise. You want your mouth open wide to help project that voice forward. Let's do our ah. Ah. Good effort. Again. Ah. Great. Next one. Ah. Great. These last two ahs we are going to do for 5 seconds. I still want you using intent. Your goal is still a strong, steady ah. Here we go. Ah. Last one. Make it your best one. Ah. Great effort. We are done with the ahs, so take a sip of water, swallowing with intent, of course. We are going to move on to the glides. Same thing as the ahs. I want you making sure your mouth is open wide and you are projecting your voice forward. We do not want your voice to sound stuck back here. Up and forward. Here we go. Ah. Ah. mouth. Keep it open wide. Again. Ah. Ah. Keep projecting forward. Let's do another. Ah. Ah. Make sure when you are pausing between the up and the down glide that you are completely closing your mouth so you can reset that intent and make it strong for the down glide. Let's do another. Ah. Ah. Last one, make it your best effort. Here we go. Ah. Ah. Great. Let's take a sip of water. We are done with the glides. Okay, we're going to move on to the counting exercise. We are going to count 1 to 4, pause, 5 to 8, pause. Y'all know the drill. At the end of each row, you are going to stop, reset that intent to make it strong for the next one. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How would you rate your intent on that first go around? Give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Say that number again with more intent. Okay? I would rate mine about a 7.5. I think I cut some numbers short, so I'm going to stretch and connect these numbers even more the second time. I'm going to use more intent. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Whew, how was that round for you? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Say that number with more intent. Did your number get higher? Did you use more intent that second time? I think I would rate mine about an 8 and 8.5. All right, let's do one more, your best effort this last time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. We are done with the counting. Let's go ahead and take a sip of water. All right, and we are going to move on to our reading. Like I said, we are reading about baton twirling today. So we're going to read each sentence 2 times. First time is okay. The second time we are using even more intent. Here we go. A baton is a metal rod with 2 rubber ends. Read that again. Extra emphasis on the highlighted word. A baton is a metal rod with 2 rubber ends. And if you have never seen a baton before, I brought mine. So here's one. And sometimes I've twirled with 2. Okay, we're going to make X here. And sometimes I've had to twirl with 3. So this is kind of hard to do because these are big, but here are 3 batons that I have twirled with. There we go. All right, let's get back to our reading. This next sentence here, World Baton Twirling Day is April 10th. Again, World Baton Twirling Day is April 10th. Next sentence. Baton twirling requires complete concentration and coordination. Read that again. Extra emphasis on the highlighted words. Baton twirling requires complete concentration and coordination. Great effort. Next sentence. Twirlers may also twirl batons, Samoan knives, flags, and light up batons. Let's read that again. Give me more intent. Twirlers may also twirl batons, Samoan knives, flags, and light up batons. And of course, I had to bring my Samoan knives to show y'all. These are kind of intense, but here they are. All right, and you can hook them up and you can twirl them. And I have tossed these in the air and spun and caught them. I've hooked them and kind of swung them around. And yes, if you get hit by these, they do hurt, but they're not sharp. Can y'all see that? It's kind of dull, but they are heavy. All right, back to our reading. Last sentence. Twirlers are also called majorettes. Again, twirlers are also called majorettes. Great. Let's take a sip of water. We are done with our reading exercise. We're going to move on to our conversation exercise. I want you to describe the images I'm about to show you with intent. Tell me what you see. Tell me what song I could be twirling to, what's in the background, each word on purpose. All right. And I do remember the song. It was a New York song. So if anyone guessed a New York themed song, you are correct. All right, the next one, tell me what you see, what song could I be twirling to, what event do you think this was at? Okay, tell me one thing you see again and use more intent this next time. Wonderful. And if you guessed a football game halftime, you are correct. All right, we are done with the conversation exercise. Take another sip of water, swallowing with intent. And we are going to move right along to Dr. Boon's words. All right, y'all know these words are so important and so good for swallowing, really activating that back of the tongue muscle. So when you see the highlighted G's, the NG's, the K's, give it extra emphasis. Here we go. Gu, la, gung, ga, ga. Again, let me hear it with more intent. Gu, la, gung, ga, ga. Great effort. Here we go. Ku, ka, mung, gu, ka. Again, more intent. Ku, ka, mung, gu, ka. Gung, gla. Gung, gla. Last one. Give it your best effort. Ku, kla. Ku, kla. Wonderful. We are done with Dr. Boon's words. So take another sip of water. It is so important to keep hydrated as you're working these muscles. All right. It is now time for some bonus reading. Like I said, I was a twirler in college, so we're just going to read a little bit about that. Here we go. My college twirling line was called the Twirl-O-Jacks. Let's say that again. Extra emphasis on the yellow. My college twirling line was called the Twirl-O-Jacks. And if you would like to practice Twirl-O-Jacks with a little bit of a country accent, I think it makes it sound better. So let's try that together. Intent with a country accent. Twirl-O-Jacks. Makes it a little bit more fun. Okay, let's keep reading this together. We twirled at football games, basketball games, bonfires, marching competitions, and in parades. One of my favorite performances was twirling in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2015. Let's read that again, starting at we. We twirled at football games, basketball games, bonfires, marching competitions, and in parades. One of my favorite performances was twirling in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2015. All right, and then just some extra pictures. This is myself and my friend when we twirled in high school. All right, look at those shiny uniforms and those white leather boots. They had taps on them, so everywhere I walked, we just drug our feet, and it goes like clack, 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 clack. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed learning about some baton twirling facts. I'll see you next time.